up, all my fight fans? UFC 290 this Saturday, and in the co-main event, you got yourself DDP Draculus Duplessis taking on Robert Whitaker. And this fight is definitely for the #1 contendership. You got yourself Israel Adesanya looking to fight somebody in Australia this September. Now we got to see who the winner of that fight is. Now, on paper, 100%, Robert Whitaker is by far the best middleweight champion, not middleweight champion, best middleweight fighter of the world. 100%. Best in the UFC, 100%. That's not named Israel Adesanya. You look at his record, Robert Whitaker has not lost to any other middleweight outside of Israel Adesanya, including that second fight, which I personally feel like could have gone to Robert Whitaker. It was very close. Very high technical fight. Definitely not like the first one, where the first one was where Robert Whitaker pretty much just got demolished by Israel Adesanya. It was not even close. Not even debate. Nothing. But that second fight, it was very back and forth. So I'm sure Robert Whitaker wants to try at least one more time at the middleweight strap. You got DDP, who's already having this beef with Israel Adesanya, who's already have traded wars with Israel Adesanya. So it's also going to be a brand new fighter for Israel Adesanya. Israel Adesanya pretty much cleared out the division already, and some of the fights he's already cleared them out twice over. So I'm sure he's looking for fresh meat. I'm sure he's looking for fresh blood that he can actually fight with. And I'm sure on paper, the easier fight, no disrespect, would be DDP, because he had that little difficult time with Robert Whitaker. So that would actually be very interesting, personally, for me, as a storyline, to see DDP versus Israel Adesanya come September. But they got to get through Robert Whitaker first, and that's no easy task, because like I said, outside of Israel Adesanya, Robert Whitaker has not lost in the middleweight division. Robert Whitaker has pretty much beat the who's who in the middleweight division. Guys like Yoel Romero, Darren Till, Calvin Gastelum, Derek Brunson, Jared Cannonier, Marvin Vettori. I mean, the guys beat everybody and anybody in the middleweight division. So, you know, DDP on paper should not necessarily be a difficult challenge, but that is always the scary part of the challenges, because sometimes you might end up being the one that he upsets. You might be in the one that, hey, we do not know how good this guy is until he goes against somebody like you. And now that he's in there with somebody like you, now we actually see like, oh, this guy's actually for real. I like to use Islam Makhachev as an example, because Islam Makhachev went against Dan Hooker and Bobby Green. Then he got him the championship of the world fight. He got with Charles Oliveira and pretty much demolished him. We did not know how good Islam was. We knew on paper Islam was pretty good, but due to his opponents, we just did not know really how good he actually was. And then he went in there and actually was able to get that victory flawless. Like, it looked like he didn't even need to try. That's how easy the fight was. So now, could DDP upset Robert Whitaker? Absolutely. This is the fight game. Anybody could upset anybody. So that's something that we got to see, and that's something we all as fans want to see as well. Can he do this? Because Robert Whitaker, again, it's like everybody's already writing off DDP in this fight, including myself, because I feel like if you're a betting man, you would definitely go with Robert Whitaker, because it's just hard to bet against Robert Whitaker. But there's always just this possibility. Who wants it more? Does Robert Whitaker want to try at least one more time at the middleweight championship? And does DDP really want to get that first chance, that first crack? Finally being able to say, hey, I did it. Now I can actually go against Israel Adesanya for that belt, and let's squash this beef 100%. Let's settle this beef in the cage. Who's going to get that victory? Well, personally, I feel like Robert Whitaker, but I would not be surprised if DDP was able to get a victory. I would not. Because, like, again, I said, guys, yeah, he was able to beat Derek Brunson. And yeah, he was be able to beat Darren Till. And no, some of those fights, it wasn't like 100% like flawless. Like, oh my God, he just completely destroyed these guys. But you never know. You never know what kind of opponent could step in there. You know, you see someone that's hungry, that's determined, that really wants, you know, that championship, is going to fight and do everything he can to do it. Well, Robert Whitaker, he's on that same boat. But at the same time, he's going against somebody else. He's going against, when he comes to that championship, he's going to be facing Izzy again. So, and there is that little sense in the back of the head, like, damn, do I really want to do this again? You know, because he already beat me twice. He's like, he feels in his heart he could beat him again. But I'm sure if the champion was Alex Pereira, there might be a different kind of motivation. But when you face somebody multiple times, it's like that motivation seems to dwindle. But you never know. That's just my opinion. I'd like to hear your guys' opinion. So there you guys have it. You got a few other fights on this fight card. You got the retirement fight of Robbie Lawler. Definitely gonna miss Robbie Lawler. He was definitely one of the best action fighters of all time. Who remembers that fight with Rory McDonald, with Carlos Condit? You know, even with in his earlier days when Nick Diaz, when he went against Scott Smith, when he went against all kinds of other fighters in like Strikeforce, Tyron Woodley, Jake Shields. The guys literally fought the who's who. The who's who. One of the fights I actually liked or I really enjoyed was when he went on that crazy run against Josh Koscheck, against Matt Brown, and then he went against Johnny Hendricks, and he got that championship belt finally. So that was definitely one of my favorite fighters, definitely, and definitely going to be missed. You know, hopefully he does good in this division or this fight. This is his retirement fight. He's going to hang it up, guys, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing him fight. You know, you got a few other fighters on there. You got Dan Hooker that's going to be on there. You got a few other good fights on this, and it's International Fight Week, so I'm pretty sure these guys are going to show up and give us one hell of a show. So there you have it, guys. Let me know your favorites on coming in to UFC 290. Let me know who you guys think is going to be winning. Let me know if we're going to see any new champions. Let me know in the comments, guys. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.